For a while, it looked like the human race was doomed. Some people say it already is, and we've just been buying some time. Fighting off the Myrmidons was only slowing them down, but not by much. The military couldn't kill them fast enough, no matter what weapons they used. The fact that the ants were underground and in populated areas didn't help. Entire nations have collapsed, or simply lost contact with the rest of the world. Even local communication is spotty at best. All the satellites have been destroyed or damaged beyond repair. They've set up makeshift compounds throughout the country that offer limited food and modest shelter for those who survived. These outposts are merely there as a place to hide and offer minimal protection from the Myrmidons. Everything was looking pretty grim, but then the scientists figured out a way to make the pheromones. People wouldn't have to constantly worry about being attacked as long as they stay in the safe zones protected by the pheromones. You've heard of a few of these pheromones, you know some of them. One is danger, keep out. This is what the ants use to mark areas that are considered dangerous or lack sufficient resources. It's what's being spread around the perimeter of most of these compounds. There's also a pheromone that is called do not eat. This is what the Myrmidons use to indicate something is inedible or poisonous. Convoys that are used to go between compounds usually spray this on them to keep them safe as they're going between places. These pheromones are in short supply and not very potent. They only last a day or so, and if it rains, they'll easily be diluted. You've heard of one other pheromone that they're working on, as they call it, good food come here. It's used for the Myrmidons to mark locations for food sources. You've seen this as the drones have been going in like almost like a parade fashion once the drones have found a place where food is available. The only thing you can think is this must be used for ambushes. You use this pheromone to pull the ants in a place where they can kill them all. At least that's what Commander Waterford has told you, the commander of your compound. Over the last few months, factories have been converted to make these pheromones. Food supplies are distributed by the military warehouses. Runners make trips between the outposts to do their best to deliver the valuable resources needed to keep you safe and alive. Any vehicles available to haul liquids are sent to collect the pheromones from whatever possible factory is available at the time that's making them. By the time the pheromones were in production, the Myrmidons had effectively conquered the world. Billions of ants and thousands of colonies have decimated humanity. Most of the towns and cities are now abandoned and in ruins. Buildings that remain standing are essentially unstable death traps. The surviving population either stick to the federally controlled safe zones, or they eke out a desperate living in the Myrmidon territories. For you, it's been about a year since you left the city. You all moved to Military Compound 69, located southwest of Columbus, and have been supporting a community of soldiers and civilians that live within the walls. Bill and Alana have been instrumental in setting up a small medical facility in the compound and have helped save many lives. Bill suffered the loss of an eye during a brutal attack in the compound where 75% of the inhabitants were killed. He now wears an eye patch and is struggling to deal with depth perception. Emily painted a Terminator eyeball on the eye patch to make him look more intimidating.
You're welcome.
Elena was also seriously injured during that attack. Her back was sliced open, ripping through her muscles in her shoulders. She nearly died due to blood loss. She recently recovered, but has had great difficulty raising her arms above her head. Leland has found a place within the fighting ranks and is now in charge of the northern wall defenses. He was reassigned from the southern wall to avoid any confusion.
I will defend the north!
He has suffered multiple breaks to his left leg, which have healed incorrectly, causing him to have a limp. He has a metal pole he uses as a cane, not because he needs it, because he thinks it adds character, and he uses it to intimidate others. Emily's been helping the compound by creating pamphlets that get distributed as convoys go from town to town. There are still many groups of people who are fending for themselves and don't know about the safe zones. She paints signs and helps do whatever tasks are needed around the compound. She has never been the same after the brutal attack 9 months ago, and does not like to venture outside of the compound. Some local information, or information you've heard: there is a federal decree not to attack the Myrmidons, except for in self-defense. The Myrmidon warriors attack anything that shows aggression, regardless of the pheromones that are sprayed. So you know that attacking the Myrmidons will cause them to attack you. So don't be aggressive towards them. That's why it's a federal law not to attack them. You've heard stories of groups of vigilantes who are attacking nests, throwing Molotov cocktails into tunnels, and drawing the Myrmidon hordes towards military bases. A few of them have been captured and locked up for treason, but are being kept out of sight. The compound you live in is essentially a Compound 69. A compound is a series of large metal-clad buildings, like small little houses, smaller barracks, and shipping containers, semi-trailers, barbed wire fencing, anything that can be put together to sort of supply some kind of, if nothing more than to hide you from the Myrmidon. It's not like they can't burrow up from underground or climb over just about anything that you would build, but it does offer some minimal protection. Over the past months, the food supply, ammunition, medical supplies have not been arriving at the base. The danger keep-out pheromone supply is running dangerously low, and the warrior ants have been coming closer and closer to the boundaries. The decision's been made to send out 2 trucks to the closest chemical factory that's been converted to make the pheromones. The factory may not be fully operational yet, but if they do have pheromones, they won't just hand them out to anybody. Leland has the proper paperwork from Commander Waterford to verify who they are and what they require.
Not this again. Like, no. We've done this truck transport Leland paperwork thing.
Most of the soldiers will stay behind to protect the compound, but the decision's been made to send Leland, 3 soldiers, Brad, Leo, and Jake, to protect the trucks. Bill and Alana were chosen to help if there were any medical issues, and Emily was chosen because Commander Waterford requires that everyone in the camp take their turn on a run.
Well, crap.
The pheromones are sprayed one final time as you leave with the trucks. You have 3 days to get the pheromones back to the compound.
Dang.
I can't even dab. This sucks.
Essentially, the land is a wasteland. Any vegetation or farms or fields that you've seen have just been decimated.
So Ohio is still Ohio.
It's still Ohio.
I like that you used Commander Waterford. I mean, if we weren't already screwed.
Who's Commander
I mean,
Waterford?
Columbus is quite nice.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, I've never seen that
I've
or read
never
it.
watched it. I'm sorry, it's that
So-
that joke is lost on me.
Sorry, ladies, you're gonna be baby makers.
Like, you don't want my genes in the population, so I think I'm good.
Can't raise my hands over my head, so I guess I just get to lay there.
So they open the gates to the compound, and the 2 trucks pull
No,
out.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Who's going to be in what truck? There's a truck in the front, truck in the back. We have the people that are with will Brad, Leo, and Jake. We'll put Brad and Leo in the front truck and Jake in the back truck.
Is it Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Jake Gyllenhaal?
You know, oddly enough, you would have thought, why would they be in Ohio? But they were there for a different convention, and they just happened to end up in the same place, yeah.
So what exactly is the status of our significant others here after a year?
So, you have no idea.
No
You haven't
clue,
seen anybody. You haven't heard anything. I mean, the assumption at this point is that I and Emma are dead.
Yeah, okay. It's been
And
a
Bill's a
long
pirate,
time.
so.
And Bill's a
The
pirate.
city has been decimated. I mean, when you left the city, you saw buildings collapsing.
Okay.
You know,
boy.
as the tunnels were built underneath.
So my mom
and
hasn't
fires.
My mom hasn't sent me an update on Facebook recently, or
Unfortunately, all the satellites are down, so she couldn't use Facebook.
Yeah, the first dozen posts that she had scheduled didn't make it in the upload.
She must be devastated.
She was just trying to send you a funny video of a monkey, and now
Okay,
you'll
I
never
think-
get to see it.
I would be in the lead truck.
I believe Bill and I should probably split up.
I'll be in the back truck because that'd be the last truck to leave the compound.
I'm
Can I go
reluctant
with
to
Brad
leave
Pitt?
Elena, but yeah, I think it does make the most sense logistically for us to split.
Brad, Leo, Leland in the front. Who else was in the front?
So wait, Bill, do you want to be with Brad Pitt or Leo? Because, I mean, I'll take either.
Well, Brad and Leo are in truck 1, so you're picking either being with Brad Pitt, DiCaprio, or if you want to go with
Jake.
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. But I'm in the back truck, so I don't know if that sways you.
Is this Brad Pitt like circa
I'll be in the
Fight
back
Club?
truck clinging to whoever will
Oh yeah,
let me cling to them.
I always picture him as Brad Pitt Fight Club.
Fight Club.
So, regardless of what he looks like now.
I'll let Bill choose.
Well, in this world, he doesn't age. He always is
He's
like
got
36.
those. He's got the frosted tips, and
Yeah.
the sucker in his mouth all the time. Okay, Bill, you get to go in the first truck then, and then Emily and
Yeah.
I'll be in the back.
All right, so we got Brad, Leo, Leland, Bill, Emily, Elena, and
Jake.
what did I see the guy's name? Jake. Okay, Jake. Okay, so you guys are head down the road in the direction. You have a crude map that sort of shows, the roads you need to take to get to what you believe is the converted pheromone factory. So you want to talk about anything to Brad, Leo, Leland, and Bill? I picture Leland up on sort of in this open. These are like, think of them like lawn care trucks, right? They pull up and they spray your yard.
That's even worse.
They're sort of smaller, but you have 3 people sitting in the front, and one can sort of, do like Mad Max on the back there. You guys have put some handles and things on the back of the truck so you can hang on. The vehicles have sort of been, modified a little bit.
Again, this is trauma from paranoia still. Like, I'm just...
There's no basket.
Emily, you doing okay?
I'm just going to reach out and grab hold of your hand, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm just holding your hand like a little too tightly.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. I should have taken my rings off today.
Okay, so you guys are traveling down the highway. You're a lot of the cars have been pushed off to the side long ago, so they've sort of opened up the roadways a little bit, but there's still broken down vehicles and grass and things have grown up over top of the roads because they're not being kept up anymore. And as you're going along, Emily and Elena and Jake in the back truck, all of a sudden you see the truck in front suddenly swerve off. You hear a loud bang, and it goes over and hits a car that's on the side of the road and flips. About that time, Jake turns the wheel, skids over, and that truck falls over, and everything goes black for everybody. Bill, it's very silent. You hear this ringing in your ears. Everything's still black. You hear this faint noise of gunfire in your head, almost like a dream. Your eyes briefly open as you look out a broken windshield of the truck.
His eye.
Your eye. Both of them open, but only one works. So the vehicle is upside down, and you can see some boots dragging Elena's body across the pavement. Your mind's in a daze. You instinctually reach out with your bloody hand, trying to grab her leg. I'd like you to roll a mental willpower check.
Okay, so bear with me here. It's been a while. So mental willpower. I have a score of 1.
So you're going to get 1 positive
I
die.
have no stresses and no traumas.
Oh no.
Right. Do you have any negative or positive features on your mental?
I have one of each.
Okay, what are those?
I'm well read is a positive. The negative is that I'm easily distracted.
Okay.
Oh no.
Leg. Oh, what was that over there?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be distracted in this situation.
I'm going to give you an additional positive die because it is your wife that's being drug across the pavement, and you are trying to reach for.
I'm laser focused at this point, as the most important thing in my world is being dragged away.
No, I'm fine. I'm in the seat next to you.
That was really
I'm going to
cute
give you a
comment.
negative die also because
Leland's in
as
the
you
seat
reach
next to you.
out, you feel the pain in your arm. You see the blood dripping off of your hand.
Okay.
And you're still in a daze and you really don't know what's happening. So you should have 2 positive and 2 negative die. So please roll those for me.
So I had 1 success from my positive die, and then
Anything cancel anything out?
no cancellation.
Okay. So you have 2 black die that are remaining.
That's right.
So you're going to take 2 stress under the mental. You need to fill those blocks in. And you had 1 success. So you grab onto the casing around where the windshield is, and you pull yourself forward, just grabbing onto the bottom of her shoe. And you get a good grasp, and you try to start pulling her back, when suddenly something is placed on top of your head and everything goes black.
Okay.
Leland, as the truck flips, you are lucky enough to be able to jump out in time as you see what's going to happen. Roll a vitality check for me as you fall out onto the ground and try to catch yourself.
Okay, so I start with 1 positive. I walk with a limp, so that's going to be a negative under my physical, right?
Now, the truck was going about 30 miles an hour, and I'm going to say you had a pretty good indication as you saw right before the truck weaved over and hit the other car that it looked like a stop stick was thrown out across the road, which you saw it just in time to go, what the hell, and grabbed onto the door handle, seeing what was going to happen. So you swung the door open and gave you time to jump out. So I'm going to give you a negative die for going 30 mile an hour.
Okay.
And then from a strength perspective, do you think there's anything else that would cause...
I mean, I don't think so. Like,
Does he have sleeves
my
on
cane,
or not?
though,
I mean,
has a helicopter propeller in it. It's like a go-go gadget. This is like a Spectre gadget thing. So I can basically just whoop up into the air.
uh-huh.
My 1 positive in physical is that, like, I'm big enough. So I don't know if I can, like, use that to tuck and almost wrap my arms around myself to cushion my own fall as I'm trying to, like, tuck into a roll.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, so I got 2 and 2 here. Well, it's definitely a success. No cancels, so I will take 2 physical points of stress.
Okay, so you roll out, you sort of roll into the median somewhat and hit the grass, and you pick yourself up. You look over and you see Brad laying on the side of the road. Looks like he's just road rash all across. Looks like he's just been torn to pieces,
Not
essentially,
Brad.
and he looks like he might be dead. And you hear gunfire. You see some people that are dressed up in sort of mix between like camo hunting gear type of thing, some pieces of body armor, and one of the Leo looks like he's grabbing for his weapon, and they shoot him right in the head. Leo goes down too.
Dang.
About that time, you try to get up, and something goes over the back of your head, and everything goes black.
Well, we just lost our 2 front runners in the theater initiative that I was going to employ into Compound 69. But
My heart can't go on.
We may as well not even bother now. My heart can't go.
You don't know how much time has passed, but after a while, Elena, suddenly a bag is removed from your head. You look around, and all of you have been tied up to chairs. Everybody else has a bag on their head.
How do I know that it's them?
Well, you see what they're wearing,
Okay.
and you don't see Brad, Leo, or
Jake.
who was Jake. You only see you.
Okay.
You 4, and there's a couple guys, sort of big guys, big beards. They look pretty rough, dirty, and they're pull the bag off of your head and looks down. Says, Hey, you fucking ant-loving bitch! Going to get some food for your fucking ants?
Excuse me? What?
Goddamn fuckers that live up in the compound. Ant-loving sons of bitches. Where the fuck were you going? They're looking at you.
Yeah, and
They got a gun.
Yeah. What do you mean ant loving? We don't like the
Fucking feeding the ants. What the hell you mean?
No, we're not feeding the ants. Who's feeding the ants?
Shh,
We're not
you
feeding the ants.
fuckers. You guys are killing all of you. You're in with the ants.
What?
I know it.
I
He knows it. He looks over to the other guy and he shakes his head. Yeah.
We're running to get pheromones to keep the ants away. We don't feed the ants.
Yeah, right.
What?
Just like all your fucking propaganda says. You're just trying to catch us to throw us into your fucking cells because you guys want to run everything.
Catch you? What? I'm so
Bill,
confused.
You wake up at this point. You hear the screaming, and Leland, you also wake up.
Hey! What's going on here?
These guys think we love ants.
Why did you guys? What are you trying to do with
Bill,
us?
you still have your hood on, and suddenly you feel a fist connect with your face. You take 2 damage. Shut up! We're not talking to you.
Oh, what are you doing?
You get another hit on your face.
I hope you're making note of the fact that I have a concrete jaw, so he's probably taking damage as well.
You feel pressure on your chest as your chair gets pushed over and you smack onto the ground.
Bill, no!
Emily, you wake up at this point.
Bill, keep your mouth quiet. Leland, they're saying that we're feeding the ants and that we're ant lovers?
Where are we?
You guys are now awake and you hear what's going on. And another guy enters the room. He walks in, sort of opens the door from. It looks like you're in this, in like a truck stop, and you're in the diner portion of this truck stop. The windows have been all covered over, blackened out. The booths have been moved around, and you're sort of in the middle of this open area. And out from the back swinging door kitchen walks this guy.
Can we at least get these hoods removed? Hoping I don't take a punch.
So, out of the back, this sort of larger guy comes out, and he sees what's going on. And behind him, you see Emma. All right, what's going on here? What'd they tell you?
Emma, what are you doing here?
Emma?
Emma's here? Emma!
Leland, Emma's here!
Emma? What's going on?
Emma!
I've been looking for you all.
You know these guys?
Yes, they're my friends.
Your friends? These aren't our friends.
Well, they are my friends.
Emma,
Emma!
Yeah.
Emma, have you seen John? Where's John?
I haven't seen John. After the all the shit went down, I haven't seen anyone.
Okay, well, your friends are really confused. They're accusing us of loving ants and stuff. They're not right.
Can we get these bags off at all?
can
They're
someone?
hitting Bill in the face. Bill, be quiet. You're gonna get hit again.
Arthur shakes his head over and to the other guys. They come over and they take the hoods off and lift Bill's chair back up, but they leave you tied up. You guys are from the compound, right?
I mean,
From
Yes.
Compound 69. Thank God you're alive. Oh my goodness.
we're just trying to survive, man. Compound 69, we're good people.
Arthur's looking at Emma.
Well, I run to Leland to free him.
He doesn't stop
That's
it.
the first.
The 2 guys that are in the room that were sort of starting to interrogate you a little bit, they look over at Arthur and he sort of puts his hand up like it's okay. And, Emma goes and unties Leland.
As I stand up, I put too much weight on my left leg and I kind of falter a little bit. I have to catch you and I'll embrace you.
You're hurt. What happened?
A lot of stuff.
Are you okay, Emma?
Yeah, this group has had my back, so I'm okay. But it seems like you're not okay.
Can
Wait,
I untie
why are there different groups?
the
We're
rest?
just humans trying to survive. Why do we have to label this? That we're not. There's no ant lovers in this world, sir.
Arthur looks over to you, Emma, and said, "They're being controlled."
Controlled by what?
Yeah, what the?
What sort of Kool-Aid are you idiots drinking?
We're not drinking the Kool-Aid, you guys are.
That is absurd.
What are you talking about?
Dude, this is
Look.
stupid.
All you guys from the camp have been going out and killing the free people.
No, we haven't.
You know it, and I know it.
Free people? What? We're just people.
If that's happening, I have absolutely no knowledge of it, and I would not be in favor of that happening underneath my
The two
watch.
guys over there shaking their heads. And
Look,
they're sorta
I've been in the
smirking.
camp for 9 months. I haven't left.
Yeah, Emily doesn't leave. Bill and I, we're just saving people that are injured. We're not, like, we save lives, not take them.
Look, we've seen you take the people into the camp. We've seen you take our people and put them in prison.
No, survive.
We know they're in there.
How do you
them.
know that they're in
Whoa.
prison in there? Are you a moron? Listen to what you're saying. Where's your
Okay,
proof?
now we need to do some checks.
Bill is really wanting to get punched.
So Bill,
Can't stand idiots. I'm a
I don't know how that's different
it's on
than
my
normal.
character sheet.
what are you trying to convince them? What are you trying to get across?
That they're morons, that's what Bill said.
Yeah, they're conspiracy theorists.
So as you're speaking, you get your this is Arthur sort of, he knows Emma very well and trusts Emma, and he doesn't know you guys, but he's trying to sort of understand where you're coming from. So I need you to give me a charisma.
I'm not doing a great job of what I should be doing, which is trying to meet them in the middle and convince them that this is folly.
Well, you did just get blown up, kidnapped, and punched.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to convince them by calling them morons.
No, I know. It's
So I'm going to give you negative dice for that, but I want to know how you plan on going about this. So how do you think you can convince Arthur here to trust you?
yeah. So I'd like to use logic and try and prove that these beliefs that he has just don't hold up to critical reasoning.
So as everybody's sort of arguing a little bit, he sort of focuses over on you as you seem to be, trying to logically explain to him the error in his thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that you get, of course, one positive die, and then what you said with your charisma. Do you have any positive features in social?
I'm well dressed.
I'm sorry. Are you still well dressed?
Probably
is
not
the
at this
question.
point. Nope.
Do you have Mr. Abs out? Or
The
what?
whole time, Bill has never been without his cravat.
Yeah. In a bind, it can be undone and used to swing from rafters.
Do you feel you have any? I mean, convince me that there's some reason why you think you could talk to this individual, this sort of large rednecky type guy, and convince him that he's got it all wrong.
I'm going to use really big words that he struggles to understand.
Okay,
That's how
I'm just going to give you.
That's how I'll
another
meet him on his
negative die.
level. Just kidding. No, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm pretty good at critical reasoning and just sort of I want to try and point out the flaws in his thinking and present what evidence I have and hopefully poke some holes in his theory by using the fact that he doesn't have much evidence to support his conspiracy theories.
And Bill's a people person, really. I mean,
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right, so give me a roll. I want to see how he. So this is going to be 2 positive and 3 negative.
Okay.
And also, if we would like, since he trusts Emma, you could help.
That
If
that
you
would
would
be
like
much
to.
appreciated based on this roll.
So if that's the case, I'll give 2 additional positive dice for you to roll. Since Emma seems to, you can say something back to Arthur that would.
Are you willing
maybe,
to help Emma?
Of course, I mean, as far as I know you, well, you're not out to kill people,
Right.
Okay, so add 2 more positive dice to this roll.
That helped quite a bit.
Emma
Okay.
likes coming on the podcast and being evil, just saying.
Okay, so I have 3 successes
Okay.
and I have 2 stresses, I guess.
Okay, so you take the 2 stress. Arthur walks over to you as you start to talk, and he looks over at Emma. Emma, do you say anything to him? What did you say to help the situation?
These are my very good friends. I lost them when everything went down. I know them very well. Leland is near and dear to my heart, my boyfriend. I've missed him. Okay, that sounded really... but
Now, Kith.
He looks at you laughing and going, I don't really think you like him.
I do.
You're like, you never once mentioned this guy.
It's been a whole year.
I mean, the situation hasn't really been providing for me to talk about my love. We have been surviving. But I trust these folks, and, like, I don't see them killing people for no good reason.
Okay. He looks over at you, Bill. What do you say to him?
All right, buddy. I'll admit I don't quite understand sort of the basis for what you're using to come up with this idea that we're capturing people and putting them in cells. And do you think we're feeding these people to ants? Is that what you think? I'm partly confused, to be honest, because it just doesn't add up to me. What is it that you think we're doing?
The government's in it with the ants.
What are they?
I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Let's take a step back. We can just talk through this.
What if they do their story, and then we hear what they have to say before we kick them? I mean, if you're gonna start kicking them, I'm gonna start kicking you, because
Yeah, no.
Emma, settle down.
Nobody.
Emma.
Look, I've already
No
been
one
hit a
needs
couple
to kick
times.
anybody,
We don't need to
okay?
hit each other. We can talk through this.
You know as
Yeah.
well as I do what's going down, Emma. If
True,
you say
but-
if you say we can trust these people,
yeah.
I don't
I'll
know
give
what's
you the
going
benefit
down.
of the doubt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to fill us in on what you know first, so that we
What you
know
think
what
you
you're
know?
accusing us of? Because I
I think
I
a
feel
really
clueless.
good way to approach these things is to think about why would the government or whoever it might be benefit from doing this? Nobody has benefited from this. It has caused everyone's lives to be chaos. No one's making any money from this. Like, it doesn't make sense for this to be orchestrated.
So he's sort of half paying attention to what you're saying. And he's sort of looking over everybody, and he looks over at one of the interrogation guys. And he goes, "Untie him." And they go over and they untie you. And the guy leans down next to your ear, Bill, and he goes, "If you try anything, I'll punch you again." Unties you, sort of pushes you off the chair. And Arthur says, "Please, let's all sit down over here at the large table."
Yes, that would be great. I am not interested in getting into a fist fight with anyone.
I'm gonna pull Bill's hand as we go to the table, and when we sit down, lean over and say, "You gotta relax.
Okay.
Have a little empathy. Try to understand where they're coming from."
I'm gonna run to Emma and give her a hug. Yay! It's been so long. I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah, same. Like, are any of you hurt? Like, can we do something to help you?
I've got some injuries. I mean, Bill's
There
got
was
a
an
pirate
attack.
eye.
Yeah, and they got hurt,
Yeah.
but they're healed mostly now.
I can't do the wave or the Macarena very well. It's difficult times.
You can use. What if we just hold hands and I will do the other side? We can use
I can, like,
2 arms in that way.
dab below the waist.
Look,
That's
nobody
it.
needs to dab. In this new world, dabs don't exist anymore. This is a whole new thing.
Well, Leland, if your leg is hurt, you can be my backpack.
Okay,
I will carry
thank
you.
Just, I kind of have T-Rex.
Oh wait, no, I have a bad back. So
I have T-Rex arms now. It's fine.
I think if there's one thing all of us can be united in agreement with, it's that we can leave dabs behind.
Okay, so I guess I was gonna say, so Elena. Okay, that's weird to talk about. I wanna sit down and I wanna ask Arthur, using my empathy, like, and listening carefully, like what he's talking about, like his story.
Okay, so he sits down sort of at the head of the table-ish area, and there's as you're sitting there, you see there's other people walking in and out from the back kitchen. You know, it looks like it's sort of a heavily armored type place. There are more people than just the ones that you're
Does
seeing.
it smell good?
It's, no.
Do they have real
it's-
food? No. Okay.
No, it's you know, it's sort of a ragtag bunch, but they look like they've been, you know, keeping each other alive, and they all trust each other. And
Okay.
so Arthur sits down and says, "All right, then let's start like this. Where were you going, and what were you doing?"
In the trucks?
Yeah.
Okay, so we come from Compound 69. Right, guys? That's not a lie. That's what we called it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not a bad place.
The government rescued us back with the ants. We call them myrmidons. Have you heard that term before?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been trying to save each other and get as many people into that compound as possible to be saved, not prisoners. So we've discovered these things called pheromones. Have you heard of pheromones?
Yeah, we know what you guys are calling them. Taking it out of the ants, right?
I don't know where they're.
I'm pretty
getting
sure
it.
they're just made using
chemicals
in
I
a
thought.
lab, like scientists. are
Yeah.
making them.
Yeah.
So there's three main chemicals. There's one that the ants know danger to keep out. There's ones that's like, don't eat this. And then there's one that's like, come here, this is good to eat. Okay?
Yeah.
Like they're pretty...
They use that to try and set a trap for the ants and ambush them and kill them if possible.
So we
That's
were...
what some of the other people have told us too.
Okay, well we were sent on a mission in these trucks to go to the factory, pick up more of those chemicals and pheromones, and then bring them back to the compound. That's it.
Have you killed
We've
other
caught more-
people
we've
from our
captured
camp?
More people then.
Wait, what?
Look, you guys. He looks over at Emma and he goes, "Do they really not know?"
Not know what? What
Yeah,
are you talking
This
about?
is why we're sitting down, Arthur. Tell us what we don't know.
Your government is protecting the ants.
Why?
No,
We've
they're
been trying.
not.
Well, you're gonna
Yes,
listen
they
to me?
are.
Please, I genuinely...
We've tried to attack the ants, and your military forces got between us
Well,
and killed our own
Okay,
people.
Because
so...
the army ants, they will come and just destroy everything if you attack the
Yeah,
drone.
If you provoke
essentially-
them, they will just
Yeah.
cause a massacre. They're very difficult
Look,
to stop.
They're breeding, and they're going to continue to breed. You have to kill them. But you guys are making laws not to kill them.
Well,
just to
okay.
allow them
Because
to
it
keep
makes
breeding.
just makes everything worse.
Listen, I don't believe in those laws, Arthur. I actually do agree that we need to find something to slow them down. But right now, provocation is not the answer.
I agree, Arthur. I would love to kill all of them, but the reality is I have seen the military go up against them, and to be honest, like, our military's weapons really aren't that effective. So as it stands right now, there's no sense in wasting human lives by attacking them when we just lose every time we attack them.
It just makes everything worse.
If you want to survive, if the human race is going to survive, we have to kill them. They're just going to continue to breed.
We need to figure out how to kill
yeah,
them
Artie,
first.
do you have a better
Do
plan?
any of your chemicals kill the things?
No,
No.
but we can set...
All they seem to do is protect you and your government compounds from them.
No, we can...
And then
Listen,
you-
listen,
Protect
Artie,
you too if you come join us.
listen, we can set traps. You got a better idea of how to target them. Let's hear it. Let's go.
He pulls out one of the flyers and slaps it down on the table. It's one of the flyers that Emily has made that tells people to come, bring themselves to the compound and they'll be fed and taken care of. And he goes, like this propaganda bullshit?
It's not bullshit. You come to the compound, we will protect you. We can keep
You know
you
what?
safe
Saving
there.
lives?
I
is
was at a
gold?
compound in Cincinnati. They took me down. I heard what they were saying.
What?
I heard them talking.
What?
What'd they say?
They are feeding you guys the chemicals that they're making you mind controlled by the queen.
What?
You guys are eating these MREs, right? You don't know what's in them, do you?
So
I mean-
Arthur, we have to take a step back here. Let's assume your theory is correct. Who benefits from doing this? Usually money is behind people benefiting from something. Money makes the world go round, right? Can we agree on that? Money and power.
Money doesn't do shit these days, friend.
Right. So why? Why would someone do that? It makes no sense.
We're not mind
Who
controlled.
benefits from this? This is madness. You've got to see how illogical your conspiracy theory is.
I only know what I know.
Well, what?
The soldiers are keeping the ants alive. You guys have made it
Listen.
illegal to kill them.
We told you about that.
Okay.
Sam was out. He got some of that shit in his mouth that you guys are calling the pheromone shit. Drove him fucking crazy.
Well,
He
it's
ran
not
over,
meant
jumped
for
inside the
humans.
fucking hole, and
It's
said, "I'm
not
coming
meant
to you,
for
my
humans."
queen." He slaps you across the face.
I'm sorry he's an idiot and he put pheromones in his mouth. That's not the
You
purpose
don't
of the
take
pheromones.
any damage. He grabs over towards you to try to slap you to shut you
Leland,
up, and he misses.
Talk to them. You were a soldier. I'm just a freaking medic. Bill's a medic too. We don't know crap.
I
Tell
put
him
up
what you know.
walls. That's all I do. Emma, do you believe this too?
Northern
Northern
walls.
walls.
From what I've learned with this group, I believe what Arthur is saying. Yeah, like, the government is not here to help us at all.
Why would they be
So
feeding us?
what does the government stand
crap?
to gain? You guys have got to give me better.
Control.
Control.
For what purpose? Why?
We're not
Why
being
would they
controlled.
The government, the people who run the governor are being controlled by the queens of these ant people.
I'm not being controlled. Look at me. You
do this? You're
think I'm
telling
being
me
controlled
that
right
the government is being mind controlled by queen ants.
Yes, they're allowing the ants to continue to breed.
Okay.
Until eventually they'll take
Okay.
everything over.
Arthur, that's fair. Let's assume you're right. Okay.
That's
let's
fair.
let's
No.
start to think based on the assumption that that's correct.
He's leaning back in his chair.
John, can I ask you? So, a year ago, when we were getting out of Columbus, they were using like insecticide, like because we were in with gas masks.
You saw you saw planes that were used to spray the
crop
fields,
dusters.
like farmers would have. That was what was going over and dropping what looked to be insecticide. It didn't look like it was a government-owned military planes.
Okay, so we haven't seen that type of weapon be implemented in the past year.
No, you haven't.
Did the insecticide work?
It did. What was being sprayed from those planes was killing the ants. But if you remember right, you did have to wear a gas mask, and not everybody had gas masks. So the assumption you can make is somebody was spraying chemicals over the city. You don't know who. And it not only was killing the ants, but killing also the people.
So Arthur, let's think on the assumption that you're right. The government is being mind controlled by the queen ants. What you have to have proof. What's the concrete evidence you have to support this theory?
Like I told you, one of our guys got that stuff in his mouth.
Arthur, you've got to
Wasn't
meet
meant
me in the
for
middle.
people.
He started yelling, "I'm coming to you, my
Okay,
queen."
perfect. That's
'Cause we're
great.
trying
Do you
to use it to
understand the
control the
point
ants.
of these chemicals? They're meant to be used on ants, and they make ants do things that ants do. So of course, if a human eats them, they're gonna think like an ant. This isn't complicated, Arthur. Use your brain.
You certainly shouldn't be spreading that shit around then.
Are you deaf?
Spreading it around for the ants.
Did you not hear what we explained about what the purpose of it is? I'm sorry, this is not gonna work if you can't use basic logic, Arthur.
He looks over at Emma, and he goes, "See what I'm saying?
What?
They're not going to listen.
You're not listening
You're
to
the one
us.
who isn't listening, Arthur.
Do you guys, okay, how about this?
Okay, deep breaths.
Do you guys agree we should kill the ants?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I already told you that.
If you know a way to do it that won't cause them to retaliate 20 times worse.
Right, with the caveat that the current weapons we have don't really work all that well.
If
So
you
what's
have
the
an
point in
effective
provoking them
plan-
and dying? Trying
If you
to
have
kill
an effective plan to stop their multiplication in some way without aggravating them and killing us all, I want to hear it.
If you guys truly don't believe that the government's being mind controlled by the queens,
Screw the government.
then
What's your
I
plan?
think you would agree with me that we should go kill the queens, right?
No,
If we could
I
get
actually
to
think we
them?
should kill the babies or sterilize the queen somehow. Aggravation is...
You know how many ants are between you and the queen? Anybody that goes after our queen is a suicide mission.
He looks at the other guy and goes, "We know that the queens are reproducing. We saw one of the queens fly out of the hole, and it goes off to another place to make it spawn another whole community of them. If you don't kill the queens, they're going to keep on reproducing.
That's how ants...
We know where one is. We're trying to kill it, but your military is keeping us from doing it."
Because of the retaliation.
You
will
cannot
be
provoke
entirely wiped out. People that had absolutely nothing to do with your attack will be dead because of what you did!
Have you guys not seen the state of the world today?
Have you?
He looks over. "Take her away." One of the guys comes over and grabs you on the shoulder.
Fuck you all!
They pull you
Whoa,
out
wait, whoa,
and put a bag
okay,
over
hold
your
on.
head.
No.
He holds his hand up and he goes, "If we want to have an intelligent conversation, you got to
You
understand
can't
both
have
sides."
an intelligent conversation!
Yep, and they pull her out of the room back into the
mean-
kitchen.
Okay.
Wait
Oh,
a
gosh.
second.
All right.
No.
This
Do
is not
you
intelligent.
have
Oh my
the
gosh.
capability to kill mass amounts of ants?
Yeah, if we can get in there and get to the queen, if we can sneak
How?
in, we can blow that bitch up.
With
How?
what?
We've got some
I'm
explosives.
all ears.
Okay, that's not enough.
We know people who have escaped from inside the city through the tunnels, and we know the
Arthur,
way.
I've seen
Explosives
tanks
isn't
get
good
taken
enough.
out by these ants. What explosives do you have that are more powerful than tanks?
Do you have a nuke?
You don't have to be more powerful. You have to be smarter. You guys just put yourself into a little hole and then shoot them off as they come
so
out.
Arthur, what is killing one nest gonna do in the grand scheme of nests all around the world?
They're reproducing more queens. All of us need to band together and kill the queens. Once we kill all the queens, we can take this world back over.
Arthur, I'm gonna meet you in the middle here and say that is, I think you're onto a good point. Killing the queens would really solve this problem because they'd stop reproducing, they'd eventually all die off. I think the point that you're missing is that we don't currently have arms and explosives that are actually going to do that job. If a tank can't take out these ants, our little, whatever you've got, your C4, your dynamite, whatever, like, it's not gonna...
Well, you ask if we had a plan. It's better than your plan, which is just waiting for them to eventually take us all over.
But Arthur, this plan is completely different than the other plan we discussed a few weeks ago.
Well, that's a different story completely. We're going to be taking out all those pheromone factories too.
Don't you appreciate the benefit that being able to control the ants? Even if we decide to say, okay, you know what, Arthur, you got a great plan, we could use the pheromones with your plan to divert the ants.
We can make ourselves say,
you can
don't eat me.
control the ants with the pheromones.
Yeah.
How is that not beneficial?
Well, we can still infiltrate a factory, steal the pheromones.
Oh, you don't have to steal them. I mean, we're on a transport job right now if you just give us our trucks back.
Well, hey, Emma, we're not going to wander in with these guys into a pheromone factory. They'll just take us prisoner.
I don't want
We're
you guys to
not-
come
No,
with us.
I don't believe that.
Because
We're not taking prisoners, Arthur. Stop being silly.
Maybe these four don't know.
Is there a way to test if they are under the influence of the pheromones?
I snigger and look over at Arthur and think to myself, he doesn't understand what testing involves because he's incapable of using logic or the scientific method for anything.
You know what, Arthur? Do you have ways to test for these pheromones? Because I could go poop in that bucket over there for you. You could test my poop. See if our food is really
eat some
mind
for poop. See if
controlling
you start
us.
thinking like an ant. Come on, Arthur.
We don't have
I'm
a
not
laboratory. We
telling-
don't have a laboratory to test.
No, but
that.
like, is there is because it's mind control in a way? Like, will it block out certain memories or things we need to check or what? Like, I don't
know.
believe.
There is
What
no
you
mind
guys tell
control.
us.
Trust me.
Do you eat the same food as your soldiers?
Yes.
Yeah?
You have different MREs.
Oh, we do?
You guys eat MREs that are in red packets, and the soldiers eat MREs that are in different packets. Yeah. Why do you guys eat separate food?
I don't know.
I mean, did you think about that before?
Because I'm not 6'4" soldier who needs more protein.
And everybody that's ate that crap says it tastes funny. Any of you guys think it tastes funny?
It's kind of tastes all the same. It's nothing all that remarkable.
I mean, it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility that the government has got something going on to try to keep us all under control, right? I mean, is it just impossible to believe that?
Okay, but it just... Why wouldn't they just kill us all then? If it's the queens that are controlling the military, just kill us all,
know.
and then the ants can take
there
over the
might
world.
be a use. I don't think about what an ant thinks.
All right, I'm kind
The
of
only good ant's a dead ant.
easily convinced.
anything.
I'm kind of convinced of conspiracy theories pretty quickly, but I do wonder who benefits from this. And if you say government, I don't
Look,
really
what
get
he's
how they're
saying
benefiting.
is no human race is benefiting from anything. Look, I agree that how is what's happening now going to solve the ant problem? Like, it's been a year.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we've got nothing to fight them with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can we? What are we doing then? What's people doing? Like, what else do we do?
I don't know, but I don't want to just go
Well,
and
I
die.
understand
Like,
that, but honestly, I trust Emma, and if Emma is convinced that there's credibility to what's happening here, then I'm inclined to listen more aptly than immediately refusing it.
We trust Emma too. She's been with us for a long time. She knows exactly what we've been through. She's seen lots of our people die at the hands of the military and the ants. We've tried everything we can to try to bargain, and we've even walked up to taken the propaganda and walked up to the different places to try to reason with people, and we've been taken down. All I'm telling you is, don't believe everything that you've been told.
So who was taken prisoner and heard this stuff? Like,
I was taken prisoner in Cincinnati. I heard it.
What compound?
Heard it right from their mouth.
What compound was that? And is there more proof at all? Like,
I don't know what compound it was. They took me in. They put me down in a cell. They tried to feed me that MRE crap.
how'd you get out?
I escaped.
Okay. And no one else has proof of any of what you heard?
Well, I don't. I'm not taking this case to court. I'm just telling you what I know.
Yeah, but why would they take...
I don't have to have a whole bunch of proof. People, Emma, these people, they've all seen it happen.
But we've provided an alternative explanation for what you've seen.
Okay, so can we stay here for a couple days till the food's out of our system, eat your food, and see what happens?
If you're going to stay here, and he looks over at Emma and goes, I don't have a problem. We just all need to be on the same page here. We don't want you doing anything to stop what we're trying to do.
So your plan is to infiltrate, being very sneaky, a nest, and kill a queen with explosives.
We know where the queen is. We know how to get there. Now, if you think these chemicals that your government's created can somehow benefit us, then we're all willing to go get some of these chemicals. But you guys are going to have to do it. Bring the chemicals out and bring it to us.
Well, I agree, because I think you're not going to be looked on kindly if you show up, especially if people know, what your MO is. If you show up with us, they're likely going to be hostile to you.
Okay, Arthur, so we go kill a queen, then what? Where do we get more explosives? What do we do? How do we keep moving?
We take the first one out. Take the one out that's here in Columbus. Then we move on to the
So
next.
there's only one for the whole area?
There has one we know where it's at, and the rest of them, when they breed, they fly off into another area. You got to stop the breeding.
I agree. That makes sense.
So where are we exploding? What are we doing?
Well, in 2 days, we're leaving to go kill the ant, whether we have your pheromones or not.
Where are you putting these explosives? What's happening? You're like stuffing it up the queen's butt, or what's the plan? That's what I mean.
We're going to get there and blow the fuck out of it.
Arthur,
Once we see it, we'll plan it and go. Look, even if some of us die, it's better to kill the queen off.
I guess I don't have a lot of confidence that any of you are going to survive long enough to make it to the queen, based on what I've seen of the power of these beasts.
Yep, that's the difference between us and you guys. We're willing to sacrifice ourselves to kill these things, and not just let them breed.
We can't stop them from doing what they're gonna do. I don't think we should.
I kind of feel like it's just a drop in a bucket, to be honest.
What would you rather overturn the bucket?
I mean, if you guys are truly with us, or at least trust Emma, the two things that we need you to do, or the main thing we need you to do, is get the guards away from the entrance to the hole. Let us go down and do what we need to do.
Wait.
And have them stop killing us trying to do
So
it.
the U.S. government has guards on the queen's hole?
The entrance to the tunnels is guarded by your military.
Oh.
Yes,
That seems...
that's what we've been saying. They won't let us kill them.
So they're not actually just saying don't kill them, they're also protecting. Alright.
No, they're shooting us down as we try to go
Because of
kill
the
'em.
fear of retaliation, which I can't say because I'm still in the fucking kitchen.
Oh, yeah, you've been off mic.
For a long time.
I know, poor Emily and Chab. I mean, whatever. Emily, John. The line is so blurry. Who is what?